Today we'll discuss ISI's MS QMS QMA 2020 paper, and the first question is, we are given this matrix A which is -1, 3 by 2, -1 by 2 and 1 by 2, and I is your identity matrix. Then we'll need to find value of this matrix which is I plus A square, and this is up to infinite. Now one way of solving this question can be, we can say this matrix, it is given by some FA, and which is I plus A square, and it goes up to infinite. Now we can consider a function fx which is given by 1 plus x square up to infinite. So this fx will be 1 upon 1 minus x. So this fa will be I minus a inverse. So all we need to do is, we'll need to find I minus a, and then we'll have to take its inverse. Now what is I minus a? I minus a will be 2 minus 3 by 2, 1 by 2, and then 1 by 2. We'll need to find its inverse. Let this matrix be some matrix B. So B is 2 minus 3 by 2, 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. So determinant of B will be 1 plus 3 by 4, and there will be 7 by 4. Now we'll find adjoint of B. We have to interchange A and B. So it will be 1 by 2 and 2, and then it will be minus B minus C. So it will be 3 by 2 and then minus 1 by 2. So B inverse, it will be 1 upon determinant of B. It will be 4 by 7, and then 1 by 2, 3 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and 2. Now what we'll also do is, we'll multiply 2 with every element. So we can write this as 2 by 7, and then it will be 1, 3, minus 1 and 4. And that's your option number C. Now question number 2 is, we need to find the value of greatest integer function of 1 by 2 plus greatest integer function of 1 by 2 plus 1 upon 100, and this series will continue up to 1 by 2 plus 49 upon 100, and then plus 1 by 2, 50 upon 100, 51 upon 100, and this series, it goes all the way up to 1 by 2, 99 upon 100. Now we know that when x is less than 1, its greatest integer function will be 0. So all these terms, they'll be 0. This is 0.5 plus 0.49, so it will be 0.99. Now this is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 1. So hereafter, the value of each term is 1. Now how many terms are there? From 50 to 99, there are 50 terms. So the value of this expression will be 50, and that's your option number B. Now question number 3 is, we need to find this limit which is limit n tends to infinite 2 to the power of n plus 1 plus 3 to the power of n plus 1 upon 2 to the power n plus 3 to the power n. So what we'll do is, we'll divide everything with 3 to the power n. So we can write this as limit n tends to infinite 2 into 2 upon 3 to the power n plus 3 upon 2 upon 3 to the power n plus 1. As n tends to infinite, 2 upon 3 to the power n, it tends to 0. So this value will be 0. So value of this limit will be simply 3, and that's your option number A. Now question number 4 is, if n is an integer between 0 and 21, the minimum value of factorial n into 21 minus n factorial is. Now if we consider this binomial expression which is 21cn, we know that the greatest binomial coefficient is when the value of n is either 21 minus 1 upon 2, or when the value of n is 21 plus 1 upon 2. So for this value to be maximum, value of n has to be either 10 or value of n should be 11. So if we look at maximum value of 21cn, it will be when the value of n is either 10 or 11, because for both of them value will be same. So it will be 21c10, which is factorial 21 upon factorial 10 factorial 11. 21cn is factorial 21 upon factorial 21 minus n into factorial n. The maximum value of this expression is factorial 21 upon factorial 10 factorial 11. Now it will have its maximum when the denominator is minimum. So the minimum value of this denominator will be factorial 10 into factorial 11, and that's your option number D. Now question number 5 is, if x is a natural number, then number of non-negative integral solution of this equation. Now here the value of n is n and r is 3. So we know that number of non-negative integral solution is given by n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1. So it will be n plus 3 minus 1 c2, and there will be n plus 2 c2. Now n plus 2 c2 is n plus 2 into n plus 1 divided by 2, and that's your option number C. Now question number 6 says, if the product of AB is a null matrix, then alpha minus beta is. Now if we multiply A with B, we can write cos square alpha, and this is cos alpha sin alpha. This one is cos alpha sin alpha, and here will be sin square alpha, and B is cos square beta, cos beta sin beta. Here also will be cos beta sin beta and sin square beta. Now we'll multiply them. We can write AB as cos square alpha cos square beta plus cos alpha cos beta into sin alpha sin beta. Now here it will be cos square alpha cos beta sin beta plus cos alpha sin alpha into sin square beta. Here we can write this as cos square beta cos alpha sin alpha plus sin square alpha cos beta sin beta, and here we'll have cos alpha cos beta and then sin alpha sin beta plus sin square alpha sin square beta. Now from this first one we can take cos alpha cos beta common, so we can write this as cos alpha cos beta, and here will be cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, so it will be cos A minus B, so we can write this as cos alpha minus beta. Now here we can take cos alpha and sin beta common, so we'll take cos alpha sin beta common. Again it will be cos alpha cos beta plus sin alpha sin beta, so again it will be cos alpha minus beta. Now here we can take sin alpha cos beta common. It will be cos alpha minus beta, and here we can take sin alpha sin beta common, and it will be cos alpha minus beta. So we can write A into B as cos alpha minus beta into cos alpha cos beta cos alpha sin beta sin alpha cos beta and sin alpha into sin beta. Now it is given that it is a null matrix, so it will be null matrix when cos alpha minus beta is 0. So if we write cos alpha minus beta is 0, it simply means alpha minus beta must be an odd multiple of pi by 2, and that's your option number C. Now question number 7 is, if 10x equals n 10y, where xy belongs to 0 to pi by 2, then the upper bound of secant square x minus y is. So first what we'll do is we'll find the value of 10x minus y, and 10x minus y will be 10x minus 10y upon 1 plus 10x into 10y. Now it is given that 10x is n 10y, so we can write this as n minus 1 10y upon 1 plus n 10 square y. Now if we take arithmetic mean of 1n n 10 square y, we can write this as 1 plus n 10 square y by 2, and L be greater than its geometric mean, and its geometric mean will be under root n 10y. From here we can say 10y upon 1 plus n 10 square y, it is always less than or equal to 1 upon 2 root n. If we multiply n minus 1 with it, then we can write n minus 1 10y upon 1 plus n 10 square y is less than equal to n minus 1 upon 2 root n. So upper bound of 10x minus y will be n minus 1 upon twice under root n. Now if we have to find upper bound of secant square x minus y, it will be 1 plus 10 square x minus y, so it will be 1 plus and then n minus 1 square upon 4n, so it will be 4n plus n square plus 1 minus 2n upon 4n, so it will be n plus 1 whole square upon 4n, and that's your option number D. Now question number 8 is, we need to find the value of this integral, which is from pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx upon 1 plus cot x to the power 1 by 4. Now we'll use the property that fx is f a plus b minus x. What is a plus b? A plus b is pi by 2. So we can write this integral as integral from pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx upon 1 plus and cot 90 minus theta is 10. So it will be 10 x to the power 1 by 4. Now we'll write 10x is 1 upon cot x. So we can write this as integral from pi by 6 to pi by 3 cot x to the power 1 by 4 upon cot x to the power 1 by 4 plus 1 dx. Now we'll add these two. So we'll add them, then we can write 2i, and it is equal to this integral from pi by 6 to pi by 3. Now 1 plus cot x to the power 1 by 4 will get cancelled, so it will be dx, and it will be pi by 3 minus pi by 6, so it will be simply pi by 6. So value of this integral will be pi by 12, and that's your option number D. Question number 9 is, tangents are drawn from a point on the circle x square plus y square equals a square to the circle x square plus y square plus b square. So tangents are drawn to this second circle from this first circle, and this chord of contact, it is tangent to this third circle. Then a square, b square, c square are in which of the following? Now we have to take any point on this circle. We can write this point as a cos theta and a sin theta. Now once we have this point, we can write equation of chord of contact as t equals 0. So equation of chord of contact will be a cos theta x plus a sin theta y and minus b square equals 0. Now this line, it is tangent to this third circle. Now if this line is tangent to the third circle, then perpendicular distance from center must be equal to its radius. So perpendicular distance from origin will be 0 plus 0 minus b square upon a, and it must be equal to its radius, which is c. So we can write b square is equal to a into c, or b to the power 4 equals a square into c square. That is a square, b square and c square, they are in geometric progression. Now question number 10 is, two numbers x and y are chosen at random from the set 1, 2, 3 up to 30. Then the probability that x square minus y square is divisible by 3 is. Now first we'll find total number of case. So total number of case will be 30C2. So from these 30 numbers, we can select any two numbers, and it will be given by 30 into 29 divided by 2. Now we have to find the probability that this x square minus y square is divisible by 3. So we can write x square minus y square as x minus y and x plus y. Now what we'll do is, we'll partition this set in 3 subsets. Set 1, which are multiple of 3. So it'll be 3, 6, 9 up to 30. Then numbers which leave the remainder 1. So it'll be 1, 4, 7. And then numbers which leave the remainder 2. So it'll be 2, 5, 8 and such numbers. So there'll be 10 elements in the first set, 10 elements in the second set, and 10 elements in the third set. Now this number x square minus y square, it'll be divisible by 3 when either both the numbers, they belong to the same set. So either it can be from this first set, or from the second one, or from the third one. So it can be any of the set 3C1, and from this set we can select any two numbers in 10C two ways. Or when x plus y is divisible by 3. Now x plus y will be divisible by 3 when either we choose elements from this set, so which we have already done in the first case, or When we choose one element from this set and another element from this second set, so it will be 10C1 into 10C1. So probability that this number is divisible by 3 is 3 into 10C2. Now 10C2 is 45 plus 100 upon 15 into 29. So it will be 3 and 9, 20. So it will be 47 upon 87, and that's your option number D. Now question number 11 is find the term independent of x in this expansion. So we'll write its general term. So its general term will be 6CR 3 by 2 to the power 6 minus r minus 1 by 3 to the power r, and then x to the power 12 minus 3r. Now for term independent of x, power of x should be 0. So we'll get 12 minus 3r should be 0. So value of r is 4. So this term will be this fifth term, and it'll be 6C4 3 by 2 square and then minus 1 by 3 to the power 4. Now what is 6C4? 6C4 will be 15 and then 9 upon 4 into 1 upon 9 into 1 upon 9. So this 9 will cancel. Now this is 3 and this is 5. So it will be 5 by 12, and that's your option number C. Now question number 12 is we need to simplify this expression, which is cot inverse and then under root of 1 plus sin x. Now we know that we can write 1 plus sin x as under root of sin square x by 2 plus cos square x by 2 plus 2 sin x by 2 into cos x by 2. So it will be mod of sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2. In the same way, we can write 1 minus sin x as sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2. So this expression, say E, it will be equal to cot inverse mod of sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2 upon sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2 and then minus sin x by 2 minus cos x by 2. Now if this is positive and this is positive, then we'll get cot inverse of 10x by 2. In that case, answer will be pi by 2 minus x by 2. And if we take this as positive and the second one is negative, then in that case we'll get cot inverse cot x by 2, which is x by 2, but none of the option is x by 2. So that means answer to this question should be none of these. Now question number 13 is one of the diagonal of a square is represented by the line intercepted by the axis. So we have this square and two of its vertices are given. So they are intercepts of this line. So we'll put x as 0, we'll get y as 2 root 3. So it will be 0 comma 2 root 3, and this point, now we'll put y as 0, we'll get x as 2. So it will be 2 comma 0. Now we find its midpoint. Its midpoint will be 1 comma root 3. Now we find this distance d. This distance d will be under root of, now 2 minus 1 is 1 and then root 3 square is 3. So this distance is 2. So all these distances, they are 2 units. Now what we'll also do is we'll find slope of, say, BD. Now slope of BD will be 2 root 3 upon minus 2. So it will be minus root 3. Slope of AC will be 1 by root 3, and that means this angle, it will be 30 degrees. Now we'll write equation of this line in parametric form. So it will be x minus 1 upon cos 30, and cos 30 is root 3 by 2, and then y minus root 3 upon 1 by 2, and L be equal to plus or minus 2. Now we'll take plus sign, then we'll get x as root 3 plus 1 and root 3 plus 1, and if we'll take minus sign, we'll get this as 1 minus root 3 and then minus 1 plus root 3. And the only option given in the question is this option number B, which is 1 plus root 3 and 1 plus root 3. Now question number 14 is, suppose ABC are in AP and each of the values less than 1, then X is 1 upon 1 minus A, Y is 1 upon 1 minus B, and Z is 1 upon 1 minus C. We can write A as 1 minus 1 upon X, B as 1 minus 1 upon Y, and C as 1 minus 1 upon Z. Now ABC, they are in AP, so it means 2B equals A plus C. So 2 minus 2 upon Y, it is equal to 1 minus 1 upon X plus 1 minus 1 upon Z. So this 2 will cancel, we'll get 2 upon Y equals 1 upon X plus 1 upon Z. That means X, Y, Z, they are in HP, and that's your option number C. Now question number 15 is, we need to find value of this integral, which is integral from 1 to E log X and then under root X. We can write this as integral from 1 to E X to the power minus 1 by 2 into log X dx. Now we'll use by parts. Now log X is first function and X to the power minus 1 by 2 is your second function. So this integral will be, now first function as it is log X and then integral of second function. So it will be X to the power 1 by 2 and then into 2 from 1 to E and then minus from 1 to E. Now derivative of log X is 1 upon X, and here it will be X to the power 1 by 2 into 2 dx. Now we'll put the limits. So we'll put X as E, we'll get this as 2 root E and then minus log 1 is 0, and here it will be minus 2 from 1 to E X to the power minus 1 by 2 into dx. So this integral will be 2 root E and then minus 2, and here will be 2 under root X from 1 to E. So it will be 2 root E minus 4 root E and then plus 4. So it will be 4 minus 2 root E, and that's your option number B. Now question number 16 is, we are given this integral from minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2, and it is under root of 1 minus X upon 1 plus X and then sine inverse X dx. What we'll do is, we let X as sine theta. So we let X as sine theta, then dx will be cos theta d theta. We can write this integral as under root of 1 minus sine theta upon 1 plus sine theta into cos theta d theta. Now when X is minus 1 by 2, theta is minus pi by 6 and upper limit is plus pi by 6. Now what we'll also do is, we'll multiply and divide it with under root of 1 minus sine theta. Now here will be 1 minus sine square theta cos theta. So this cos theta will cancel. We'll get this integral as this integral from minus pi by 6 to plus pi by 6 and then theta into 1 minus sine theta d theta. Now we'll split this integral in two parts. So we can write this as minus pi by 6 to plus pi by 6 theta d theta, and then minus from minus pi by 6 to plus pi by 6 theta sine theta d theta. Now this is odd function, so value of this integral will be 0. So we can write this I as minus 2 from 0 to pi by 6 and will be theta sine theta d theta. Now this is first function and sine theta is second function. We can write minus 2 and it will be theta minus cos theta from 0 to pi by 6 and then minus this integral from 0 to pi by 6 derivative of theta is 1 and sine theta is again minus cos theta d theta. So it will be minus 2 and then minus pi by 6, and cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2 minus 0, and then plus integral of cos theta is sine theta. Now sine pi by 6 is 1 by 2. So this value, it will be root 3 pi upon 6 minus 1. So it will be minus 1, and then if we cancel this root 3, it will be pi upon 2 root 3, and that's your option number A. Now question number 17 is, a project manager has to allocate a software engineer to a development task. The engineer with software development experience up to 5 years are available in the company, but there is no engineer with 0 experience. The relationship between defect injection rate, say Y, and experience in years, say X, is given by Y equals 3x square plus 162 by X. Now we need to identify the experience in years needed for the engineer to develop the software with minimum defect injection rate. So this defect injection rate, it has to be minimum. So dy by dx, it must be 0. Now we'll differentiate. We'll write dy by dx as 6x minus 162 upon x square. It should be 0. We'll get x cube equals 162 by 6. So this is 2 and 7. So value of x is simply 3. So we'll take this 3. So this is plus and this is minus. So this 3 is a point of local minimum. So defect injection rate will be minimum when the value of x is 3, and which is none of these. Now question number 18 is, we are given alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. So we can write alpha plus beta as minus b upon a. So it will be 15 upon 225. It will be 1 by 15. And alpha into beta is c upon a, which is minus 2 upon 225. Now we need to find this limit, which is limit n tends to infinite, summation r varies from 1 to n, alpha to the power r plus beta to the power r. Now this summation alpha r is nothing but an infinite GP. So its sum will be a upon 1 minus r. In the same way, it will be beta upon 1 minus beta. So we can write alpha minus alpha beta plus beta minus alpha beta upon 1 minus alpha minus beta plus alpha beta. So this value will be alpha plus beta minus 2 alpha beta upon 1 minus alpha plus beta plus alpha into beta. Now alpha plus beta is 1 by 15, and then minus 2 alpha beta will be plus 4 upon 225, and it will be 1 minus and then 1 by 15 and then plus alpha beta. So it will be minus 2 upon 225. So here it will be 15 plus 4, and here this value will be 225 minus 15 minus 2, and that should be 19 upon 208, and which is option number D. Now question number 19 is, we are given this function fx as x into 1 minus mod x when mod x is less than or equal to 1. So we'll consider two cases. Case 1, when the value of x lies between minus 1 and 0, so it will be x into 1 plus x, and second case, when the value of x lies between 0 and 1. In that case, mod x will be simply x, will be x into 1 minus x. Now we'll draw this graph. When x lies between minus 1 and 0, it will be a parabola opening upwards, and roots are minus 1 and 0. And for the second part, it will be parabola opening downwards, roots are from 0 to 1. Now it will attain its minimum value in this interval. So we'll find f dash x. F dash x will be 1 plus 2x will be equal to 0. Value of x will be minus 1 by 2. So minimum value of this function will be minus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, and that is minus 1 by 4, and that's your option number C. Now question number 20 is, let function fx is e to the power gx and gx is sine mod of x square. Now we know that mod x is either minus x or plus x, but there is an even power. So even if we'll take minus, it'll again be plus. So we can write this gx as sine square x, and then this function fx will be e to the power sine square x. Now exponential functions sine square and x square, they are all continuous and differentiable. Now this function g, it is differentiable at all x, and that's your option number D. Now question number 21 is, if x1 is alpha, where alpha lies between minus 1 and plus 1, then we define xn plus 1 as xn if n is odd and xn square if n is even. Now x1, it is alpha. If we'll put n as 1, we'll get x2, and when n is odd, it is xn. So it'll be equal to x1, and this value will be equal to alpha. Now if we put n as 2, we'll get x3, and x3 will be x2 square. So this value will be simply alpha square. Now we'll put n as 3, we'll get x4, and when this is odd, it is simply xn. So it'll be alpha square. So we'll get this series as alpha alpha, alpha square, alpha square, alpha to the power 4, alpha to the power 4. So at some value, it will be alpha to the power 2 to the power n. And we know that when n tends to infinite, 2 to the power n, it tends to infinite. Alpha to the power infinite, when mod of alpha is less than 1, it approaches 0. So limit of the sequence, it approaches 0, and that's your option number A. Now question number 22 is, we need to find domain of this function. So this function will be defined when this expression inside log, it is greater than 0. So it will be log 2003 base, and then log base is 2002, and then log base is 2001 x, it should be greater than 0. Now if we'll take anti-log, we'll get log x to the base 2001 to the base 2002, it should be greater than 2003 to the power 0, which is 1. Now we take anti-log again, we can write log x to the base 2001 should be greater than 2002, and if we'll take anti-log again, then we'll get x should be greater than 2001 to the power 2002. So value of C should be 2001 to the power 2002, and that's your option number B. Now question number 23 says ABCD has an area 36 and it's a square. So we have this square which is A, B, C and D, and area is 36. So that means AB is 6 and BC is also 6. Now this AB, it is parallel to x-axis. So that means their y coordinates will be same. So suppose their y coordinates are K. Now A lies on y equals log x to the base A. Now if we'll take y as K, so it will be A to the power K. So this is A to the power K, and here B lies on y equals 2 log x to the base A. So it will be A to the power K by 2. For C, x coordinate will be A to the power K by 2. So we'll put x as A to the power K by 2. We'll get y as 3K by 2. Now length of this side, it is 6. So from here we can write 3K by 2 minus K, and this is 6. So value of K, it should be 12. Now length of this AB is also 6. So we can write A to the power K minus A to the power K by 2, and this value will be equal to 6. Now K is 12. So this is A to the power 12 minus A to the power 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. So we'll get A to the power 6 minus 3, and A to the power 6 plus 2 equals 0. So value of A to the power 6 must be equal to 3. So value of A is 6th root of 3, and that's your option number A. Now question number 24 is, we need to find smallest value of this expression. So we'll use AMGM. So we'll write 9 e to the power x plus 25 e to the power minus x upon 2, and it will be greater than or equal to under root of 9 e to the power x into 25 e to the power minus x. Now this is 1. So we'll get 9 e to the power x plus 25 e to the power minus x, and it should be greater than this 2, and then this is 3 into 5, which is 15. So this value is always greater than or equal to 30. So the smallest value is 30, and that's your option number B. Now question number 25 is, consider the point P 1, 1 on y equals x to the power 4. So we'll draw this graph. This is y equals x to the power 4, and then we have this point P, which is 1, 1. Now PM and PN are two perpendiculars on two axes. So this is PM and this is PN. O is origin. We need to find ratio of areas of OMP and ONP. So first we'll find this area, which is OMP. So area of OMP will be this integral from 0 to 1 and then y dx, which is x to the power 4 dx. So it will be simply 1 by 5. Now area of ONP will be area of the square minus area of OMP. So it will be 1 minus 1 by 5. So it will be simply 4 by 5. Now if we'll take ratio of these two areas, it will be simply 1:4, and that's your option number B. Now question number 26 is, in a factory there are 3 machines X, Y and Z, and they produce 1000, 2000 and 3000 bolts every day. Now the probability that bolt is manufactured by X is 1000 by 6000, so it will be 1 by 6, Y is 2 by 6 and Z is 3 by 6. Now defective percentage of each of these machines are 1, 1.5 and 2. So probability of getting defective from X, it is 1 by 100. Defective from Y, it is 1.5 by 100. And defective from Z, it is 2 by 100. Now it says a bolt is found to be defective. What is the probability that this bolt is produced in machine X? So it's a Bayes theorem question. So if it is defective, it came from machine X. So we'll take this case in the numerator. So it will be 1 by 6 into 1 by 100 upon 1 by 6 into 1 by 100 plus 2 by 6 into 1.5 by 100 plus 3 by 6 into 2 by 100. So this 100 into 6 will cancel. So we'll write this probability as 1 upon, and this is 1 plus 3 plus 6. So it will be simply 1 by 10, and which is none of these. Option number D. Now question number 27 is, if fx is 2x plus 1 and g of fx is 10x plus 10, then expression of gx is. Now g of fx is linear, so it simply means we can take this gx as a linear function ax plus b. Now g of fx will be a and then fx, which is 2x plus 1 plus b, and this is 10x plus 10. So we'll get 2a as 10 and a plus b as 10. So value of a is 5 and value of b is also 5. So your function gx should be 5x plus 5, and that's your option number C. Now question number 28 is, we need to solve this double integral. We can write this as integral from 0 to 1 y, and then from 0 to y x into e to the power minus x square dx. So we'll multiply by 2 and then divide it by 2. So we'll get 1 by 2, 0 to 1 y, and here if we take x square as t, it will be dt. So it will be e to the power minus t. So it will be e to the power minus x square upon minus 1 from 0 to y into dy. So we can write this as 1 by 2 and then from 0 to 1, and this is minus y, it will be e to the power minus y square and then minus 1 dy. So this integral will be 1 upon 2 from 0 to 1 y dy, and then minus 1 upon 2 0 to 1 y into e to the power minus y square dy. So we'll multiply by 2 and then divide by 2. So we'll get 1 by 2 and it'll be y square by 2 from 0 to 1, and then minus 1 by 4. Again it'll be e to the power minus y square upon minus 1 from 0 to 1. So we'll put the value, we'll get 1 by 4 and then plus 1 by 4, and here it will be e to the power minus 1 minus 1. Now 1 by 4 will cancel, we'll get this result as 1 upon 4e, and that's your option number D. Now question number 29 is, we need to find sum to 8th term of the following sequence, which is 2, 5, 12, 31, 86. Now we'll find its difference. Difference will be 3, 7, 19, 55. Now we'll find difference again. We'll get 4, 12, 36. Now this difference, it is in GP, and common ratio of this GP is 3. Now when difference of difference is in GP, we know that its general term is given by Tn equals an plus b plus c into r to the power n minus 1. So it will be 3 to the power n minus 1. Now there are 3 unknowns. We need to find the value of a, b, c. So we'll put n as 1. We'll get t1 will be a plus b plus c, and it'll be equal to this first term 2. T2 will be 2a plus b plus 3c, and there'll be a second term, and T3 will be 3a plus b plus 9c, and it'll be 12. Now if we subtract second from third, we'll write a plus 6c, it is 7, and if we'll subtract first from second, we'll get a plus 2c, and it is equal to 3. Now we'll multiply this with 3. We'll get 3a plus 6c equals 9. Now we'll subtract it. We'll get value of a as 1. So value of a will be 1. Now we'll put a as 1. We'll get c as 1. And if we'll put a as 1 and c as 1, we'll get b as 0. So general term for this sequence, it will be a, which is 1. So it'll be n. Now b is 0, and plus 3 to the power of n minus 1. So that is the general term for this sequence. Now we need to find sum of 8 terms. So sum of 8 terms will be this summation n plus this summation 3 to the power of n minus 1. Now this is n plus 1 by 2. So it will be 8. 8 plus 1 by 2, and plus, now this is nothing but a GP. This is 133 square up to 3 to the power 7. So it will be 1 and then 3 to the power 8 minus 1 upon 2. Now here it will be 9 into 4, 36 plus 3 to the power 8 minus 1 upon 2. So it will be 36 plus 6560 upon 2, 36 plus 3280, which is 3316, and that's your option number B. Now question number 30 is, if m plus 1, n plus 1 and r plus 1th term of an AP are in GP, it is given that n equals 2mr upon m plus r, then we need to find ratio between common difference and first term. So we'll write m plus 1th term will be a plus md, n plus 1th term will be a plus nd, and r plus 1th term will be a plus r into d. Now these 3 terms, they are in GP. So it simply means that a plus nd square will be equal to a plus m into d and a plus r into d. So it will be a square plus n square d square plus twice a n into d will be a square plus ad m plus r plus m into r into d square. Now here a square will cancel. We can write this as n square minus mr into d square, and it will be equal to ad m plus r minus 2n. Now here d will cancel. We can write d upon a as m plus r minus 2n upon n square minus mr. Now we can write m plus r as twice mr upon n. So it will be 2mr upon n minus 2n upon n square minus mr. Now we'll take 2 common, then we can write mr minus n square upon n, and will be n square minus mr. So it'll cancel, it'll be minus 1. So this value will be minus 2 upon n, and that's your option number D.